We've bought like $1,100 lures before. We've reviewed those. Reviewed them and sliced them in half. Big fancy boy swim baits, you know, but I've never just went into a tackle shop, a sports store, a place and bought a lure and then reviewed it. So let's go, let's do that. Need some water. I'm parched. This is a lure review. It'll be good to get more lure reviews going instead of having to buy the, you know, $300, $400, $1,000 stuff. Just go to the store, pick something that you guys would get that's available, review it. Let's go. Decided to go to Shields for this one. This is like the fancy place that I go if I need a fancy fishing lure. It's kind of lame. I'm far away from anything. They got this guy here, the fishing stuff's second floor. Let's go. So fancy. They got an escalator. Takes up like a quarter, second floor. Trying to talk it up. I can't. Let's get in there. That ain't good. It's just packaging. There's no bait in there. They have mega bass stuff. I didn't know that. I'm not a sucker for fancy packaging and overly fancy baits. At least I try not to be. If they have anything handmade, I'm gonna prefer that though. We could go Guggen. Dude, they got a little Bull Shad, Mike Buka. So I've looked through everything, I'm pretty sure. They don't even have any like hard musky bait, crankbait kind of stuff. I don't know if it's all bought. You know, they got mini bulldogs and spinneroos and whatnot. I might have to get a Guggen glide bait. Really? No, I'm gonna get the Bull Shad. I'm gonna get a sick, nasty paint scheme too. Yeah, I want the trout. Decisions made. Let's start this lure. Ooh, they got the Savage Gear duck. Let's represent the bait maker stuff. Yep. Okay, we're in the parking lot. I gotta give the initial impressions. Some solid packaging, really. It's a lot of packaging. It's not what I prefer. I mean, you gotta throw this all away. One thing that makes a Bull Shad is the bristled tail fin. It's got that. Is it a more sophisticated process? Is it better than like a silicone or rubber? I think so. You gotta line all those up in some sort of special little device and then glue them into that tiny slot. I don't know if it's hand done from the factory that these are made in China, but I appreciate that. That's something. Wires. That's cool. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. It's not through wire, of course. That's way too much wire to be a completely through wire bait. But it doesn't look cheap. Those are thick wires. They're pinned in. You can see the pin that goes through that loop. ABS injection. It's one of those, like, you can't really tell if it's got a clear coat or not. It might just be shiny paint everywhere. It probably has a clear coat. You can see the glare. It's just a thin one. We'll see how it lasts. We'll see how it swims. What does it say it swims like? Slow sink. We'll test that. It's a subjective statement when it comes to lures. Slow sink. We'll see how slow. Let's go fish it. What better place than one of BJORNSEN's ponds? I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. Oh, look at those giant bluegill. Can we make it official with a bluegill? This is my first time fishing it. Going straight for some giant bluegill with a swim bait. Should I drop it on a bed here? They don't want a swim bait, but I was able to test out the action of this thing a little bit right there. And it's pretty yummy. It's pretty good. Yeah, it does not want to come off center line at all. It is very, very good. Okay. It's not slow sink. That's not slow sink. I'm sorry. Bull Shad. It's not fast sink. It's not slow sink. In my mind, the scale that I would use, I'd call that mild. See, they're slow, and that's like every 1 second it goes down 1 inch. It's just like very, very slow. That's slow sink. And then there's mild sink. That's what this is. There's moderate sink. And then there's fast sink, like a sinker, you know. It's all subjective, but that's my definable scale. I'm enjoying this. Feel pretty confident. If I just very slowly work this thing, we'll get a fish. Whoa. Oh, the feeders are starting. You guys are on top of a feeder right now. Looks like that feeder's out of food actually, so we're not gonna get all the blow-ups here. I had a hit just then. I missed the fish. What are the hooks like on this? Sticky sharp. I don't know why I didn't catch that fish. Fish on! Let's get him in quick. Okay. The type and sized fish you would expect to catch with a little swim bait like this, honestly. This is like a go to your local pond and have fun catching this kind of bait, in my opinion. Be free. And it's official. Whoops, I threw the fish back. It's official. Dinko largemouth O's, like the Mike Buka. I think this is a Catch Company collaboration. Bull Shad SwimBait. Official. Okay, another bass. I was hoping it was a bluegill. It's just a bass. Be free. I hope you guys saw that. That bass came out. Woo! Treble hooks are flying around of that mat. He swam out, looked at it for like 2 seconds, and then bloop, ate it. He made a calculated decision to eat this bait. That is putting a good word in for the bull shad for sure. Sorry, I just face planted you into the mud. Okay, I have noticed if you get any shmoo on this bait, it stops working as well. It's got a delicate function, cannot be impeded whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna come over here to where I was catching walleye the other day. See if we can get a walleye on this bad boy. That's right, Kevin's Pond's got walleye. Gotcha. Off the structure. Okay. Yeah, not a difficult bait to catch these fellows with. Woo! Another. Be free. Ah, that was a hit. That was deep. Could have been a walleye. Should have been a walleye. Would have been a walleye. That feels a little different. It's fighting like a sock. Ah, it's just another bass. No, it's another species. Okay, that's pretty official. Crappie, like the little bull shad. We got a crappie on the bull shad. Woohoo! I would eat you too, but I'm not allowed to, I don't think. It's official. There's another. I think you guys get it. If you don't want to fully commit to a big swim bait culture type life, you can just get one of these and kind of feel like you're doing the same thing, you know. I just felt the tiniest hit right there. It's so weedy. Ooh, that felt good for a second. Is that a crappie? I think it is. Yep, he turned his side to it. Woo! Bait popped off. It's official again. The crappie, that's a better crappie. Like the Mike Buka Catch Company collaboration bull shad. Be free. That first big pull, did you see my rod? It was like, doo -doo -doo. Yeah, it was like, it's so weedy. Ooh, he turned his side to it, then it didn't really bite. Can I reach? Oh, fish on.
That was cool.
Thanks, Laramie. It's official again. Bass after bass after bass after bass. I think I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow, get in the kayak, and go to some backwater on the river or something. Jay. We're going straight into the ditch with this bad boy, and hopefully we don't get it broken off on a big pike. Seems like a calm morning. There's so many bugs around my face right now. Whoa, that was a hit. That is so strange. It's got sticky sharp trebles hooks on it, but fish on. Finally, had to let it sink. Picked it up real quick and we got one. It's moving the kayak, it's a good fish. It's a big pike. And it didn't break me off. I shouldn't say big pike. And he's gone. It's official. That pike just splashed a bunch of snot in my eye before he left and covered me in goop. The little bull shad did it. Caught a pike and nearly sent some troubles into my finger, but we still good. It's official. We got a pike. I felt that hit. What's this? Don't. Margaret decided to bite. Hello. Good to see you. As I do like every day of my life. They're feisty out of the river though. Be free. Ah! Okay, really? Oh, these bugs, man. Oh. Oh, wonderful. This thing gets snagged so incredibly easy. Not that that's like a big fault of the bait, but when you're used to weedless soft plastics, it's like, ah! Fish are jumping everywhere, but you're getting snags out. Fish on! It's a pike. No. It's a big smallmouth. That really seemed like a pike. But it's a football smallie. And it's gone. Because I'm scared of these treble hooks. Oh my goodness. I actually snagged the old one on that fishing trip, I remember. This video has been sitting in the chamber for months, ready to fire off for a time like this. Did you notice my hand? My disgusting zombie hands right now. Comment below what disease I caught. No, not measles. It's my hand, foot, and mouth. It's on my face, it's gross. I'm not gonna get too close to the camera, you're welcome. I shot all that, made that video, and kind of put it away. Wasn't sure of whether or not to release it, but here we are. The Mike Buka Bull Shad SwimBait Catch Company collab with a dash of hand, foot, and mouth disease. Not gonna show you my feet. You're welcome. We are gonna fill up the test tank though, and you're gonna get some test tank footage before we go. Dude, hand, foot, and mouth is miserable. I don't know if I'd rather have the flu or like any other horrible disease compared to it. It's comparable to some bad stuff. It's miserable. You're just dealing with blistery pain everywhere constantly. Ugh. It's supposed to be rare for adults to get, so extra unlucky in my case. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. No. Don't go outside yet. keep an eye on him. Not the kind of dog you just want roaming free. A little intimidating to people, even though he would just come up and be like, "Do you love me?" See you in 3 hours. Bye. I got the perch version after losing the trout version at the ditch. You can go pretty slow, but there comes a point where if you creep it too slow, it loses its wiggle. I like the noises that it makes, but you have to go very, 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 very slow. And it's like the forces wanting it to sink overcome the wiggle. And you have to go slow enough to the point where it is sinking. Does it do anything on the sink? No, it doesn't do anything on the fall. Pretty sure, can't see anything. This is moving real slow. That's with some speed. It's a full body movement. The nose is wobbling too. Practical. Practical. That's what I have to say about this bait. That same thing, keep the proportions, but slow down that sink rate to like 1 inch per second and get it 5.5 inches long. Maybe 6.5, probably 5.5. No, 6.5. And I'd be like, ooh. But then they'd probably ask like 35 bucks for that. It's a weird game, that bait production, manufacturing, selling on shelves world. That perch color was called Bumblebee. Got to deal with China manufacturing. This was made in China. It's like 100 people wanting a cut of something before it sells. This was 15 bucks each time I bought it. Getting taxed to no end. Extra 10% on lures, excise tax. I've sold a lot of baits before, and really it's no fun. It's not fun selling baits. I don't today. Just because the position I'm in, I can sell lures for ridiculous amounts of money, then I just feel bad for selling lures for ridiculous amounts of money. There's no winning. I haven't sold a lure in a really long time. In very unique circumstances, I give lures away. That's it. I went to one other place with this lure and didn't catch any fish. That was the river, below a spillway. I brought a rotten ribeye with me, and I was using it as bait while casting this a bunch. And I caught nothing that day, not even on a rotten ribeye. Chunks of rotten ribeye, wasn't catching fish. That's insane. It's about to be over 100 degrees for like 3 days straight here, so that's probably gonna remain the pattern. Other than that, this is the bait, it seems, that really would influence the swim bait shy, very swim bait timid kind of people to like, hey, just get this. It's just this little 3.5 inch. It's not big. It's not intimidating. It's okay. Come on over to the swim bait world. Try this out. You'll catch a fish, and they will catch a fish on this probably, like that. You can fish anywhere in the water column with it. Just wait for it to sink for a second. You can snag it pretty easy, but at the same time, it's 15 bucks. There's some Rapala one-piece baits that cost 15 bucks out there. Probably on the highest end price-wise that people who are intimidated by swim baits would ever pay for any fishing lure. It's about 15 bucks. Locked in that market right there. I paid $1,100 for a lure one time and then cut it in half, so I'm not part of that market, but I understand the people that are. Like 15 bucks is pretty much too much, but fine if it's like something crazy. I think that's all I have to say about that bait. I should give these ratings. I should give every lure review that I do a rating. What have I done so far? The Lucky Tarpon, the Mother Chaser. Okay, the Roman-made Mother Chaser gets a, okay, this matters. I can't just think of a number off the top of my head. I have to think about this for a second. Stupid expensive. Flaws in the quality. Okay. Stupid expensive makes it like 5 and under, right? Flaws in the quality bring that down. There's like sanding marks in the finish job, and the tail fell off. It wasn't even glued in, it didn't seem. Okay, Roman Made Mother Chaser, 3.4. That's the lure review rating for that. Lucky Tarpon. It wasn't stupid expensive. The Lucky Tarpon's bigger than the Roman Made Mother Chaser. There's more detail on the Lucky Tarpon. It is a resin bait, so they use it. But they use this pressure casting mold system, and it's like awesome. It's got silicone fins. They're like steampunked with screws screwed in. I'm looking up at the wall because that's where it was. It's a little dusty. It's been up there a while. This thing's legit. It swam fantastic. There's like flashing on the silicone and like little striation marks on the joint. Very minor stuff. Specialty made for a specific kind of trolling application. It's got a thick epoxy clear coat. You can see like a bubble under that eye. If you look really close, that's not dust. You can see like a little bit of bubblage in the clear coat. It's a little foggy, a little random piece of glitter in the clear coat right there. How does it make me feel? Like the Roman Made Mother Chaser kind of made me feel underwhelmed because of the flaws. Less flaws, crazy cool bait, feel good. It's a personal scale too, so let's like take that into account. This isn't a universal standard scale. This is like a personal scale. So being the bait making connoisseur I am, I give it 7.2. 7.2. Now the Bull Shad. This relatively high quality off the shelf swim bait. 3.75 inch. Bunch of different paint schemes to choose from. Awesome little bristle fin tail. Good action. Just like a universally appropriate sink rate. It feels tough. It feels durable. The paint and everything was holding up just fine for the amount that I fished with it. This is just a different ball game compared to those big ridiculous Mother Chaser and Lucky Tarpon. I got the pike too, still need to catch a fish on that. More on this one later. Got some of my stuff up there. That's a Novak bait on the right. Some carvings. It's not wood, it wasn't handmade, it's not super special. It gives you that feeling that you're just picking up like a bag of Senkos. You're not, it's more special than that, but it's like, it's falling into that category. You're just picking up a bag of Senkos and you're gonna go catch a fish, you know? So it doesn't have, this was toiled over, wood, carved, hand painted with an airbrush, and like a lot of thought put into what you're fishing with. A lot of thought was put into a design and it was mass produced kind of feeling. Therefore, I can't put it in the 8s. I'm hesitant to put it in the 7s because that Lucky Tarpon was special, you know? I think it deserves a 7.0 because it's so practical and it's such a good thing for the market in my opinion. It puts people in the mindset of buying more special baits. This does. Once you buy this, you want to push it from there. Maybe you'd go get that Savage Gear duck lure or something, you know? Then you'd probably go get like a Tiny Clash. Then you'd see people online making stuff like that and want one of those. Next thing you know, you're buying handmade crawlers. Then big, beautiful handmade swim baits. That's hallelujah. Lures. Anyway, and it all started with the Bull Shad 7.0. There you go. On to the next bait.